Okay, guys, welcome and good evening. Okay, guys, good evening. Okay, good evening, guys, and welcome to tonight's session. This is the first. This is the first session we'll be having on YouTube Live, and the ones we've been having, they've always been on. They've always been on Telegram channel, and this is the first live session on YouTube. And the reason why I'm bringing us to YouTube is so that as the session is going on, we will be able to, number one, interact, and secondly, we can ask questions if there is any. And I can also give a shout out and thank you guys for being on this with me. Okay, so there's really no okay, I think others are going to join later on, so let's just proceed. So today I'll be number one, I'll be reviewing the week. I'll be reviewing the past week. This week that just this previous trading week. Secondly, I'll be giving us insight as to what might happen next week so that we can brace ourselves for whatever the market is planning to throw at us. And last but not the least, I'll also be I'll be giving tips like I used to do, and I'll be showing you some of the things you need to know as a trader. Okay, hopefully I'll be having lecture for us soon, but pending that time when the lecture is going to come, let us make do with what we have. Okay, so without much ado, let's proceed. So this past week actually has been very demanding. Markets have been acting in, well, we can say in very predictable manner, but I was not expecting that what happened this week would repeat itself, considering the fact that it is unusual for markets to play out like that. Now, the first pair that we would put into consideration is the DXY, which is the US dollar index. Now, the US dollar index is a very pair if you are an upcoming trader, and I told us the reason is because of the advantages that it presents to you as a trader. Now, the first thing is it allows you to be able to understand the bias on macro levels, on micro, and also on micro levels, in the sense that if you can understand the movement of the DXY, now there are also other instruments that when you put them into consideration, they can also help you to understand other currency or other pairs movement. But I won't be talking about them. I will just be focusing on DXY. because it's something that everybody is familiar with, and therefore it will give you more comfort knowing that we are bringing something you are familiar with into perspective. Okay, so the DXY is a very important pair, and as a trader, you want to make sure that you put the DXY at as part of what's on your watch list. Okay. Now, if you have questions, any question whatsoever, please just comment it. I'll see it and I'll respond to you. I'm going to put the weekly separator now and the daily separator. So each of this line that you see on my screen, each of this line, it is this line that divides each day. So this day here is Tuesday, and then this line divides it, making this day here a Wednesday. And when this line divides it, this day here becomes Thursday. And since we're looking at this week, we would like to start from Monday here. This one here. Now that we have, okay, I'm just going to delete all this. Now that we have this previous week in view, we can easily say that this week had been pretty bullish, or as you would like to call it, it has been in an uptrend. Therefore, if you had bought at the opening of the week, you would have made profit right now. Now, the important thing about the price movement for this week is not the things that are formed or the candles that are formed. No, it extends beyond that. One of the most important thing about this previous week is the fact that now we can look at what has happened and analyze it, and look at where we made error for this week. Look at where what we should have done that we didn't do. Write these things down as corrections, and then next week we use these things as guidance to our trading activity. So whatever we do intra-week, although this week had been profitable, but the point is, nobody is perfect. Even if we closed this week in profit, there are still some things that we missed. And because of these things, if we do not take them serious, if we assume that, okay, because after all we made profit at the end of the day, and we did not study, okay, eventually a day might come whereby that particular thing that we did not pay attention to, as tiny as it is, as small as it is, would be what will be giving us issue later on. So as traders, we want to make sure that, number one, like I told us in our Telegram session that we had, that it is very important for you as a trader to review every day. Whatever happened during the day, make sure you do a review. It is the review of the previous day that will help you know, number one, what has happened, number two, the mistakes you made, and number three, how to prepare for tomorrow, for the next day. Similarly, when you study the previous week or the present week which we are about to live, it allows you to know, to understand what might happen next week. So as a trader, you don't just, as a trader or an analyst who wants to be profitable, the effort you put in, I think the tech guys calls it garbage in, garbage out. It is what you give that you get. It is the amount of effort you put in that will determine the kind of results you get. Every day I spend nothing less, apart from when I'm not busy, okay? But apart from when I'm busy, but whenever I'm on the chart, like today where I'm just on the chart, I spend most of the time reviewing what has happened than looking for entries. So while other people are looking for entries, all I just do is, okay, this is what has happened, this is what happened. Because sometimes when you review and you go back in time, you don't, now this is one of the tips I'm going to give you guys. When we say back test, now back testing, yes, is important that you go back in time, but it gets to a point whereby market changes, the market dynamic changes, and sometimes the thing you are studying is only efficient during a particular season. The kind of strategy you use is only efficient during, let's say, a particular season, let's say the first quarter of the year, and not in the second quarter. So the seasonal tendency might affect your strategy. So if you don't review, how do you know? Because sometimes you see that the same thing, the same patterns, the same entries, the same style that worked from January to April, and now all August, that same thing has been giving you massive losses. Yet you don't even know what's wrong with it. All you just keep on doing is just looking for trade, enter, blow account, fund again, enter, blow account. No, it doesn't work like that. The reason why we are Forex traders is because the reason why we are called Forex trader is not because of the fact that we just press buttons. No. It's because of the intelligence that we carry, that we possess. That is what makes us stand out. It's beyond you just being told that this is an order block and you accepting it as an order block. Yes, it is, and I'm not saying you should not give room for learning. What I'm trying to say is, you on your own as a trader have the advantage of vetting and breaking down and rearranging things, some concepts. So let's say, for example, you were told that when you see so pattern, it is called an order block. Now you might want to, the curiosity in your mind now is, why is it an order block? And then you are told that, okay, the reason why it's an order block is so and so. If you do not find satisfaction with the response you are getting, the chart is there for you. And how do you get answers from the charts? By studying, by reviewing. There is no magic here. The results you see, the results you see, the profit you see, the consistency, the winning streak rather, they are the proof of somebody who have taken his time to study. So my advice for you as traders is, make sure every day before you go to bed, you review the day. and then every week try as much as possible to backtest. Now you don't need to go far. You can just backtest the previous 1 month or the previous weeks, and that's okay. The more you get acquainted with the chart, you see, there was a time when I used to post it on my status that the chart can talk, it can whisper to you, it can. All you need to do is get acquainted to it. All these ones that I've been saying since morning, I've not even analyzed, but I already know what I will say when I get to the chart. Now that's it. You should get to that point. You shouldn't be a trader who, when you get to the chart, you start looking for things. It's like what's it called? It's like a machine. A machine is only told to do what is being asked to do. Yeah. You are a human being. You are a trader. Don't be a machine. You should be willing to read context. There are things that happen in price. Price don't just go to another block because your mentor said it will go to another block. No. It doesn't just respect a resistance level because you were taught that when price comes to resistance, it does so and so. No. There is more to it. And it is your understanding of the components of the things that are pertaining to the delivery of price intraday, intra-week, and every month, both on micro and on macro perspective. That is the only time that you can come into experiencing that consistency. I'm not the trader that will tell you that support and resistance is not good or indicator is bad. Now, I'm far more advanced than that, in the sense that when I was trading indicators, I was profitable. When I was trading S&R and SMD, I was very profitable. And then when I went ahead to learn a market structure, I was also profitable. Every single concept that I have learned so far, every single concept that I have traded so far, you name it, I have experienced a certain level of profitability that has cleared the doubt of the inefficiency of that particular concept. So regardless what concept you use, if you are not experiencing profitability, sometimes it might not be the concept that is wrong. It might be that the amount of knowledge that you possess as a trader is not efficient to bring you into experiencing the kind of results that you desire. So you should stop jumping from one strategy to another. I know people, some traders who today they are learning SMC, tomorrow they are learning, they are going back to learning S&R. Next tomorrow they are going to learn MBM. Another day they will see another strategy. They are just gallivanting up and down, going. You can't grow that way. Still, there's an idiom that says still water runs deep. The analogy there is that when you put water on a spot, when the water is on a spot for a very long time, when it is still, it goes down. The ground suck it in and it goes down. But imagine a water that is being dispersed. You can't go far. Okay, so guys, whatever strategy you use, that strategy, trust me, whatever concept you are learning or you have learned or you're using to trade right now, and unfortunately it's not giving you profit, I'm not the one to tell you that NBM is better than them. No, I won't. Even if, as much as I can, I am very, very confident about the efficiency and the superiority of some concepts above other in terms of explanation, presentations, and other means. it still doesn't cancel out the fact that the so-called concepts which are being discarded at a point in time was making very good profit for traders, even till now. My advice is, whatever style you're learning, try as much as possible to be very good at it. Okay, let's get down to business. Now, when I teach, when I taught MBM the previous weeks, in the previous video which you can look, I told us that the first thing we look as a trader is the open of the day. This is the open of this day. And then, well, I'm going to map the opening of every day of this previous week. And then the opening of this day here. And the opening of this day here. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, these are the 5 days in this week. The first thing we look at is the opening of the day. Now, whenever we are bullish for the week, we look to every time the market opened for the day, our interest is to look for buy entries below that opening price. So if market is opening at this level here, we're looking to buy below this opening price. Now, when I say we're looking to buy, I'm not saying we just buy directly. Of course, you have to look for your entry models. For example, look at this. On Monday, price opened here at this spot here and then went up. Then came down to go below that opening price, and then it gave us this entry. And then that was the move there. Look at that move. So price actually went up. Now, those who would have bought at this spot would have actually they would have break even their trade, and unfortunately they will not be able to catch this, impulsive move. Same thing here. When price got to this level, it moved. Now, I remember dropping this signal for us on the channel, on our Telegram channel, and the reason is because if we look at this low and we extend it down to this other low here, what's that? That's double low. And at double lows, we have liquidity. They are called area of liquidities. And don't forget, what are we? We are bullish for the week. So definitely we are looking for our buy below this level here. Unfortunately, price came into that and zoomed away. So the same thing for today. Price came below, gave us our entry, and moved up. Now, when we want to analyze this is a tip. Whenever you are analyzing for, let's say you are trying to know what might happen for the coming weeks, your top-down analysis is your best friend. Okay? Your top-down analysis is your best friend. Don't forget that. Because then you can understand what price would look like on the higher scale, on the bigger scale. So here I'm going to start from the top. Even though we said on the monthly time frame for DXY that we are bullish, as per monthly price delivery, we are bullish. On the weekly, we are also bullish. Yeah, we've been bullish for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. It's been massive buying. So now we're trying to look for where or what could happen next week. So we are bringing this week into perspective. Now the first thing we need to map out is, I'm on the weekly time frame, so I really don't have anything to do here. All I know that you see this high here, that's an area to look for price delivery. Initially it was this high, but that high is being swept through. This low here is also an area to look out for. Even as we are bullish, it is still possible that price sweep down. Okay, this market is very, very funny, so you want to brace yourself for whatever might happen. Now let's go to daily time frame, and as we can see, price has been massively bullish. It's been going up, Now this high here, I actually mapped this high here, and I told us that I'm anticipating that price will do what? Break above this high, create a fake out, and then we have people who are buying, thinking that it is a breakout so that they can buy. Now when it creates that fake out, what happens? It drops, and then we can start looking for sell entry into wherever levels that is below here that we're looking for sell entry into. So for now, we do not have much. All we know is that price has broken this high and it has rejected that high. Now it might continue to be bullish and it might reverse. We don't know yet, and that's the reason why we need to go to lower time frame. Let's go to 4-hour time frame. Now there is more details to price action on the 4-hour time frame. Now what we know is that price has created this bullish, is actually consolidating around this level. I'm going to delete this thing now because it's confusing. The first high, this is the most recent high, and this is the most recent low here, and price is where? Price is in between. So the thing is, two things. Is either price comes into this high before going down, or price come down to clear this low, comes down to clear this low for proceeding upward. We don't know. We don't know what price will do. We don't know what it might want to do or what it will do. All we do know now is that price is consolidating right now, and that's the information we are following. Now, as for weekly direction, for now we are what's it called now? We're neutral. We don't know what's going to happen. But as for daily direction, we're already anticipating. We're trying to look at what might happen on Monday. So I'm going to go to lower time frame, the 1 minute time frame, and this is the 1 hour time frame, and this is the 1 hour time frame. Now, as we can see, price has been consolidating a little bit of, even though it's bullish consolidation, but I mean there's no really any significant price movement, just ups and downs, and then price is here. Now what do we do? One thing I know is this low here, these two lows here, those are equal lows, areas of liquidity. So definitely price would seek this low out, to seek it out. Now I don't know how or when it's going to do that. All I know is that that is what would most likely happen. Now, this high here is still intact. I have nothing to say about it, and that's why I have to go to lower time frame, the 15-minute time frame. And finally, everything is revealed to me. Everything is revealed. Now, I know that when this low gets swept out, this is an area of support. If you trade support and resistance or supply and demand, this is actually an area of support. So I could be looking to what? To buy at this region. And if that doesn't work, we also have a fair value gap at this projection here. And that's it. Yeah, I remember mapping this level out yesterday, that price would drop into this level before going high, and before going high to where? To clear this high. Yeah. Refer to the session we had yesterday, and you remember I said something like that. In fact, in the video I said it, and that was what happened. In fact, yesterday I said we should buy up to where? Up to this region here. Yes, up to that other block, this other block here. And I told us that we could sell at that region, but fortunately it was a loss. If you had sold at that spot, it would have been a loss. So it happens. You can't be right all the time. Okay, but at least you made profit, and then you just lost a few pips here, so it's really not a big deal after all. So I'm going to delete this now. Now, our outlook is that, you see, this area is an area of support, and we are looking to what? To sell from there. So our anticipation is that, you see this move, it comes into this level and drop down. So now we have two directives for price. Is either if price comes here first, then we'll place a sell. If it comes here first, then we'll place a buy. But for now, we are neutral. We don't know what to do yet. Don't know what to do yet. Okay, so that's it for DXY. Right now, I'm just there. I'm not doing anything. Now, before I go to any other pair, let's give a review of this previous week, so that we can know that we are done with that. So let's check Monday first. So this is the price action for Monday. This is the price action for Monday. And as we can see, what we're looking for is regions where we could place buys or sell entries. If you trade, regardless the kind of style you trade, the market is very clear as to what it wants to do most time. It is we, the traders, that needs to not be irrational when we are engaging. For example, this low here, this one here, this is obviously a support level, and if we map that out, we could see that we could be anticipating that price will come into it, but then price didn't do that. Cancel out the fact that we still have what? An imbalance here, or FVG as you will call it, and that's what price came into. Price came into that FVG and moved away, and this happened on Wednesday. On Monday, this is our area of support here. Monday price action, this is Monday here. If we draw that support level out, this low here, and we draw it out, I'm going to delete that now. If we draw it out, actually this is our old support region. So if we draw it out, what's that? Look at how price came into it. It was like in a hurry to leave that spot, and then it moved away. Now, what works? Sorry, what worked here unfortunately didn't work here. So it happens in price. It happens. Sometimes price would act in very funny way that even you as a trader, you can get mad and you'll be like, what's happening? Now, if we look at this region here, this is actually an area of support. I think I mapped this level for us. And I told us that that's where we'll be looking for buy entries. And you can see. Now, what didn't happen here actually happened here. And it happened here. So as traders, we want to make sure that we do not make irrational decisions when we are on the chart. We are calm. We know what we're doing. So if you have any questions or any questions at all, please feel free to drop it in the comment section so I can respond to it. Okay, so that's the previous week review for DXY. Now there are more. For example, now the reason why I am not looking at the sell side scenario is because of the fact that we are actually bullish for the previous weeks. Okay, so now we're going to go to other time frame. I'm going to delete all this, and we're going to see what we have. Now let's go to DXY, other pair. I'm sorry, let's go to gold. Now this is gold charts for previous week. Because of time, I'll just be talking about what to expect on Monday. Now, this is where price is. And remember yesterday, I told us that our lookout is that price would most come into this area here. Because this is an order block or this imbalance here, anyone you see. And we are still on that. You see this little move here, price being funny. And as we can see, today has been consolidating. Price have been funny way. So my anticipation for Monday is that price finds a way to come to this high here and then drop. So we are still bearish. Remember, on DXY we are still bullish. So on other pairs, what happens? We'll be bearish. We'll be bearish. So that's what we look out for on gold. We still keep the same stance that we keep, same stance that we have. Okay, we're still hoping that price comes to this level so we can sell. And for EU, I think I already talked about EU. Now EU is just the opposite of gold, of DXY. All you just need to do is okay, so let's proceed. As we can see, EU has been in a downtrend. Now for the past week, price had just been falling, and it's really annoying because I've been anticipating a reversal, and with the way price acted yesterday and today, I would be hoping for that reversal next week. Now I don't know when it's going to be happening, but then I'll definitely update you guys. But then as price is here for as traders, is that price will either come to this area of support, okay, so that we can buy here, or it comes into this. If you trade SMC, That's your order block there. Okay. What other pair can we analyze? Yeah, GU. Actually, GU has been very, very, very cooperative. Although I don't trade GU, but the price delivery for GU has been very um, predictable. Same for UJ. Now I remember entering a sell on UJ at this region here, but it took me out here with less than 0.1 pip, and then look at the massive move there. But then it's part of trading. It's part of what happens. Okay. So what's my prediction for UJ? Now what I'm seeing UJ do is that it is actually forming, for those of us who trade pattern, I'm actually seeing this funny pattern, whatever you call this pattern, should be here, whatever you call that. Okay, so I think this is a descending triangle kind of pattern, so we are still bullish on UJ. We're still looking for buy entries on UJ. So on Monday we would try to see, price is in between this high here and this low here, so we don't know what might happen yet, but we want to hope that it comes down into our area of support before going up, or let's see if there is anything there. Well, there is nothing much, just this fair value gap there. So if you want to enter that fair value gap, you can look for entry there and then you buy.